In this video, I'm going to show you how to add fractions using the butterfly method.
What we're going to do is actually draw bubbles across both fractions that mimic the look of a butterfly. So the first thing we're going to check is to make sure our denominators are different, which they are. We've got a 3 and a 5. So I'm going to draw a bubble between the 1 and the 3 and multiply those numbers. Then do the same thing with the remaining numbers, multiply those numbers. And then for the denominators, we're just going to multiply that bottom. So that's going to be 15. Now all we have to do is add the top and bring down our 15, and that's our fraction.
You can use the same method for subtracting fractions. Here's a video that will walk you through the steps.
Second example. So again, we'll double check that the denominators are different, which they are. So we're going to draw a bubble across the 6 and the 5 and multiply those two numbers, and do the same thing with the remaining numbers. Now, one thing I want to draw your attention to is the multiplication table in the description. If you're not sure what 3 times 12 is, use that tool to help you. Right now, our goal is to just practice adding fractions, so don't let the idea of not knowing the multiplication table scare you. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and multiply our 6 times 12, which is 72. 3 times 12 is 36, you can see that up there. And we're gonna add our numerator, so that's 66 over 72. Now, as a math teacher, I am gonna remind you to reduce, reduce, reduce. So what that looks like is the 66 and the 72 are both even numbers, so I can actually divide them both by 2, but I also know both numbers are multiples of 6, so I'm gonna divide the numerator and the denominator by 6. Remember, what you do to one, you must do to the other. That's gonna give us our fraction in its most simple form, 11 over 12.
As always, in the description, I have a worksheet with an answer key. Just make sure you use the answer key to check your work.
All right, in this example, our second fraction actually has a larger numerator than the denominator. So that's going to require some additional steps when we reduce our fraction. But for now, let's go ahead with the butterfly method. Okay, so we're going to multiply 5 times 14, which gives us 70. Multiply 7 times 9, which gives us 63. Multiply our denominators, which will give us 35. Add our numerators, so that's going to give us 133 over 35. As a math teacher, I'm going to remind you to reduce, reduce, and reduce. So in this example, I know both the numerator and denominators are multiples of 7, so I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 7, giving us 19 over 5. Often with an improper fraction, most math teachers prefer you to change it into a mixed fraction. So I'm going to show you how to do that using this example. So the first thing we have to remember is that fraction line is actually a division line, right? So we can decide how many times does 19 go into 5. Now, if you're like me, you're going to know that that's not possible without getting a remainder. So we now need to think of the closest number to 19 that's divisible by 5. So I know that that's going to be 15. 15 divided by 5 leaves us with 3. That means 19 divided by 5 is going to be close to 3 with a little bit left over. In fact, it's actually 4 left over to get to 19. That means this fraction, when placed into its mixed form, will be 3 wholes and 4 fifths. The 4 comes from what's left over, and the 5 comes from the original reduced denominator, leaving us with a final answer of 3 and 4 fifths.
Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, you know what to do. And if there's a math problem you want me to go over, leave it in the comments. Until then, I'll see you later.